we're straight into it.
Straight into it. Oh, so if we started already,
I'm
so we're saying, all right. So yes, so you're doing Terrace Laughs tomorrow night, which is the 30th for those people who'll be watching it.
Yes,
that's later on.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. It's actually a bit of a running joke on the podcast where when McKegney came on, like November, December.
Yeah, that was like 6 months ago he came on.
Booked me for it then, and happy, I was delighted. And then at the end,
was it James books it now?
I think they share, do they?
Yeah, they sort of like go back and forth a wee bit on it. Yeah, it was
Fenton's
fitting.
done it for ages, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But so he booked me for it, or that so was fine. And then every time at the end of every pod, Justin's like, "Do you have anything to plug?" I'm like, just plug whatever gigs I have. And then I'm always like, "Oh, I'm doing Terrace Laughs on the 30th."
Terrace Laughs. What the fuck are you going to talk about next week?
I know.
You're
gonna literally every single week.
I have to get a new co-host. You free next week, David?
He's done. He no longer does comedy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He's expired out of comedy.
I'm plugging this flat out, and as I said last week, I nearly hope I damn a hole just out of like.
You know what? It was a lovely room. From what I remember, because I was saying before, I went and it was like the throes of I had kidney stones, and it was awful. Like the worst. It is in fact the worst pain I've ever encountered in my life. But I was but what it was is I was afraid that it was like gonna be like indigestion because of where the pain starts.
Yeah,
you think it's.
I was gonna say, does it stay in one place or does it travel? Or?
No, the pain just stabs.
Right.
As that's moving, so like it's obviously I know obviously, but like it comes. So you've got your ureters or like the wee tubes that are come down from your kidneys down into like your
digestive system,
well, your bladder and your thing like that there. So that's where the pain comes once the wee stone starts to move down it.
Yeah.
I thought it was indigestion, and I was like, I can't go to. I'm not going to A&E for the doctor to tell me to go home and have a shit. I'm just not. I'm not.
Talk about shitting yourself before a gig.
Just go and shit. Just have a fucking prune juice. Have whatever.
2 coffees and a smoke.
Absolutely, breakfast of champions. But I was like, just go to the loo, and I was like, no. And then it was like, oh no, your piss is the color of Impto. You're gonna have to go to A&E. It's gonna have to be. Color of Impto. It was really nice. I brought my husband, and I was like, out there. Am I like? Do you know sometimes whenever like you're in pain or something, you kind of look.
You're in pain.
You're in pain.
Yeah, there we go. Name the episode.
Fuck, I wasn't even the sore bit. You know what I mean? Fuck, it was awful. And so I just was like walking and had to go to Fenton. And I was like, Fenton, I don't know if I've got indigestion or like a kidney infection.
You said like Fenton. Like, someone's going
to go to County Tyrone for this.
He's going to go for the cure.
Someone's going to make him look at the Virgin Mary.
You're going into like Ebonics or something. Do you know, like you're talking like African Americans.
Oh yeah.
Like a pure. I'm Fenton.
I'm tripping and Fenton.
I'm working. It's like no. I leave the cultural appropriation to other people. But it was and so I just had to walk outside. And I'm sure like people thought that I don't know. Do you think you're paranoid that people are looking at you going, "What the fuck is wrong with him? What is happening? Why can't he just sit down?" Because
Yeah, but I'm a pacer though. Like I'm be doing the bleep test like beforehand, and like I was in school, I only get 5 laps, I'm done.
No, 5 by you're going well.
No, and before that town hall gig, I was just pacing up and down. I wasn't even on to like 3rd or 4th in, so I had no call to be nervous. But I'm always just footering about.
Are you nervous beforehand? Like, would you be nervous before?
Like a healthy amount of nervous, like a healthy amount, you know.
Yeah, same. I wouldn't actually like feel too. Like I wouldn't be of a pace, but I'm not like in the mind state of if I die in my hole, this is me done with comedy. No. I'm more just like oh, just please remember the lines and like because my nerves come from like you need to like impress other comedians more than anything. The crowd, I'm like I'll just do some crowd work, get a laugh.
Shit about other comedians.
Yeah, but you're David Doherty Jebb as well, you know. So.
They can fuck off. Yeah. No, don't fuck off with other comedians I love. No, but you like I'm always like I call it reverse stage, right? So I can't wait to get on stage. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'd be the same way. Yeah.
Hurry up and do your set so I can get on.
Just,
and then when I come off stage, then I second guess myself. I do postmortems. I go over the
ruminate.
Completely, but like then assassinate everything. Oh, fuck's sake. Why didn't you say that? And you didn't say that, and it's, you know.
I kind of do that. I have a bit of both where I'll be like a healthy amount of nervous before I go on stage. There's probably elements of like wanting to impress other comedians in terms of like, you know, if you think about like colleagues, like you want to do well.
Yes.
You want to do well for yourself, of course.
You do.
You want to do well for the crowd. I just want to do well in general because then everybody enjoys themselves, you know. Yeah. But I'm kind of the same opinion of you where it's like if you die in your hole once and someone thinks you're dog shit because of that, it's a them problem because everyone, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Sometimes maybe you're bringing, sometimes the it's not. You can't blame the audience. Sometimes the audience is crap.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Sometimes
I've been like in a room.
I feel like
these are all
after you've done enough
Presbyterians
good gigs or something, like it's like. Well, I mean, I've done good gigs in front of Presbyterians. Not a lot, but like I've done maybe one.
I think they were allowed to have fun.
Oh, yeah, that's. It's part. Is it not in there like Mormon book or whatever it is?
Like shades of Presbyterian. You know what I mean? Like they keep falling out and like starting a new church. You know what I mean? Like, between Lurgan and like Warringstown, the closer you get to Warringstown, like the more radical the Presbyterian. They set up a brand new church. So you're like along that Banbridge Road.
Yeah.
Like just going along. All love the Presbyterians, but like you aren't well known for your crack.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like let's all go to a Presbyterian wedding for the fun.
I know.
Yeah, zero drink.
Especially
zero
like,
but a load of riding somehow.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Of like lots of like a lot of these like go away sleepaway camps that they have. Like that is prime fingering.
Used to get away from your conservative parents.
Absolute anal or like.
Up the bum, no harm done. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, God's like doesn't count. You're alright.
You know what I mean? That's the sort of like Presbyterians like and the gays. Like have a very similar kind of premarital.
I mean, you hate each other.
I don't hate them. I just don't like the way they live their lives.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Heard that before.
I don't like it in my face.
Yeah. I don't mind if you're Presbyterian, just don't do it around me.
I just wouldn't want my kids to turn out Presbyterian.
Yeah. You're sitting down at the table being like, I have to tell you something. I'm Presbyterian. I fucking knew it. See when I seen the Old Testament in your house with Mary's name scribbled out. I fucking hate it.
Why couldn't you have been an anal gimp like cousin Susan? This is awful. What am I? How are people gonna look at me now? They're gonna think it's my fault.
This is too real for you, isn't it?
You're in denial, kid, giving you fucking Holy Communion instead of fucking.
See, we were brought up. We weren't really brought up churchy. Like we used like churchy people growing up.
No fuck, because I'm mixed. So I was raised mixed. Now I'm nothing. But like my mum and dad were.
Like you were a bit. I was raised Catholic, but I'm alright now.
Yeah. But we were technically. We were Church of Ireland, which is kind of like Catholics without the Mary.
Yeah.
Our ministers were like a frock.
Like
a bit of jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
Catholic cocktails is like
Catholic light. It's it's like a drag show. Do you know, like Catholic is like the drag show at
like
midnight
Pepsi Max.
The pure, dirty jokes and all that.
Oh, wow.
Whereas like Church of Ireland is a drag show story time.
Oh, wow.
It's a wee bit lighter during the afternoon. Do you know what I mean? There's not as much going on. You can waltz in and out of it and kind of understand what's happening. Whereas, slay, slay or fierce, that's kind of the whole like drag queen Latin. It always feels like, whenever I always just used to feel like, like the first time I went to a Catholic wedding, it felt like, being a Steps fan who'd been airdropped at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or an OAP fan who was airdropped into a Steps concert where like all the other people around you seem to know what all the tragedy, they all know what the moves are. and you're watching the people beside you trying to work out.
Like the first time you heard the Macarena.
You're off beat. You're off beat. What do you call those two girls that done the fucking KFC and a Pizza Hut fucking thing?
Fuck.
You're the one I'm on about though, don't you? Is it KFC and a Pizza? McDonald's.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's like that's the first time you hear it. It's like so remember the girls in school were doing High School Musical, and to try and fit in, you tried to.
No, Soupy, I'm 43.
You said Nursery School Musical.
My friends' kids were watching High School Musical and dancing along to it. We didn't. Yeah, High School Musical thing just. I felt like, right, so there was like a period of my time. So I moved away from like North of Ireland, occupied 6 counties. I like to keep it completely sweet with
the island beside England.
At like 18, and then I moved home around about 27, 28.
Yeah.
I felt like there was like a weird kind of shift. Like I felt like something happened and I missed it because I was away. And I remember the first time watching it was the Hill, like all that High School Musical. There was like loads of like different culture, late 2000s culture.
Yeah.
And like the Hills. Do you remember the Hills?
The TV show, like
it was like a sort of. I don't know, what would you put it? It was like a reality show, but I think they called it like a soft scripted.
It was kind of like it was almost like a mockumentary type of thing.
But it was not meant to be.
Yeah,
it was meant to be real. It was meant to be It was meant to be like this hardcore undercover look at like how rich people lived.
Yeah. I do remember that.
It looks like a bit
Beverly Hills in California, or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like a wee bit like 90210 or something, like something like that.
Real life.
Oh,
and I remember,
it?
like, I just had no idea that it was meant to be real. I thought it was just another. Like I thought it was like the OC
wrestling.
or like One Tree Hill or shit like that. And I was watching it and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? These are the worst actors I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just
was it like a Made in Chelsea type thing or like?
Yeah, it was like there was the hills and then there was the city because like the people from the hills then moved to New York and then they we're making it, you know. And she was like, I just can't believe like she threw me under the bus like that.
And is this like we're almost like it's like pre-Kardashian era? Do you think like the Kardashian?
Yes.
It's like the Hills plus.
The Hills was kind of like. So the way back, there used to be a thing called The Real World. I don't know if the MTV still do it. Right. But there's The Real World, so you got like 10 strangers or 6 strangers, whatever.
Yeah, it was almost like a Big Brother or something. Yeah,
but
I remember that.
Was like they would all be living in the same house and they would all get a job at like the same radio station.
Yeah,
and they would all have, you know, they would have like I think Geordie Shore had a kind of that was a wee bit like Geordie Shore.
That kind of
had like jobs at something. They had to do something.
Yeah.
So like, there was a thing called The Real World on MTV.
Yeah.
I loved it at the time, and then like as time went on, like you just get more and more fucking weirdos. Like, you know, like is it Holly and Spence? Do you call it? Not Holly and Spence? Like they were the Hills.
Right. Okay.
Holly and Spence. Like I think they were in Celebrity Big Brother one year. Like they came from the Hills.
Yeah.
Do you like those? But you just people. And what annoys me is that I know the names of all these people. I know the names of all the Kardashians.
Storage in your brain is being taken up by
that.
that.
I have an episode of the Kardashians.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Iteration of Kardashian.
Oh, man, I have.
Never.
I remember, fuck. It was on TV one day. I was like, turn that shite off. And I was like, here, low-key candle slaying.
Bible, okay. And you know what?
I started saying shit like, a curr and all.
What way did you say that? Come
on, it's the culture way of saying it.
He's saying it.
Oh, right.
He said it like phonetically.
I've only ever read it.
I've only ever seen it wrote down.
And you have to do like all the fucking. But like,
that's just my
Tourette's. That's what I was gonna say. It was like this fucking like like a Lewis Capaldi concert or something.
Like Tourette's meeting point. You know what I mean? You're just making sounds. But it was just I can't. Like I know who they are. I know their relation to one another.
Yeah.
I know what's all going on.
Yeah.
And I've never watched an episode.
You love to hate it.
I just fucking hate it. In general, like if there was an asteroid just roughly the size of the Kardashians, like we get the kids out. I let the kids live. As long as they're taken into like nice homes and brainwashed.
Did you see that fucking
happened to them?
Just like their parents.
Just like their parents.
Did you see that that video of was the Kim's child Northwest or something?
Oh,
fucking can't be asked.
She had 3 or 4 to him.
Lock a childer.
A whole lot of them, yeah.
9 o'clock
to
and
them,
not a Wayne washed in the Kardashian West household. Not a Wayne washed. My heart's broke. My heart's broke with that Northwest. I can't get him down to do his homework at all.
She's like on Broadway or something, playing like the lead in The Lion King, like playing like Simba, hasn't a note in her head, but you know, she need to get some of that auto-tune after that, you know.
But it's such a the tragedy of Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
And whenever you watch a program and you see like Kim Kardashian being the stabilizing force in your life, it's time to fucking take stock.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's to stop and go, nah, I shouldn't. This is fucked up now.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with those shows. I was watching it from a viewpoint of like absurdity, to be like comparison, to be like. Did you ever see the clip of Kendall Jenner cutting the cucumber?
Is she the older one?
She is the sister, or like
she's the older of the
Jenners.
Jenners.
So she's like the skinnier one that had like the Victoria's Secret model one. But
who totally got that job on her own merit. Like
$1,000,000%.
A small donation of $1 million
from my dad and my mom.
Small donation of Kim sucking cack.
I mean, if your dad is like an Olymp or whatever they are nowadays, but if they're like
when she was on Olympic, was it a triathlon?
Or it was something like that, like literally like the highest amount of athlete you can be, you know, which is crazy. And like holy shit, like it's just to think that is where it all stays. But like, is everyone in their family not like famous for something except the ma? Like
no, the ma was way the ma was so that like her husband was O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, but
he was like on TV all the time in the 90s during that whole thing. Like,
no, what this is like. You know that
Kris
Bill
Kardashian at the as was then. She was on TV all the time.
So it's kind of like that
generation here. You just remember the Kardashian era of Kris, but I remember the.
You were there for the glove.
I was there as I watched it, and I got there.
David was there going, that white Bronco was moving.
It's awful. Will I tell you? What did you call? Because it was like a surf. What did you call Nicole Brown? Nicole. Who did
OJ murder?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
You can say what you want.
Brown bread, yeah.
You can't lie about the dead man.
Nicole and like.
Want about him? Nah. Do you know what I mean? OJ is
you were watching the Bronco being like, fuck that yoke green MOT, sir.
Suspension in that shit. Look
at him bouncing.
It was like he carried 2 dead bodies in the boot.
Nicole Simpson, and
Simpson.
And Ron Goldman, that was the fella.
He was like, I just remember this. I remember this happening on like this all going on. So like, so she was really famous then.
Yeah.
She like, and then Monica, like Brandy, wasn't it? AJ was Brandy's brother.
Possibly.
Remember Brandy Norwood? Do you remember from?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
What was the program? Moesha. To the 90s sitcom.
No.
She Brandy. Remember the boy is mine.
Yeah.
The Brandy one. That was her brother who was shagging Kim Kardashian in the video.
Reggie
is Brandy's brother. And she. So like,
why is this like a rural town from here?
Like an episode of Game of Thrones.
Hey, do you know the way? Reggie, Brandy's bro. I'm sure it's going there. He was
the one was going with Kim there.
Firing it into their woman there, Kardashian.
I'm sure he was taking a veggie.
He used to work in the spa, and then they got rid of him because he was putting his dick in the butter. Do you remember? He was like, they found him. Look, we were talking. If you remember the video, it would have needed to have been one of them big fucking wholesale buckets of butter from like one of them things you put around your neck on the airplane. You know what I mean? God love him. Whatever happened to Reggie? Whatever happened to baby Reggie?
There was a real funny video of him whenever he's doing like an interview or something. There's a couple of funny videos of him, but there was one of them where every single time the camera cut back to him from the interview, his hat was in a different position. And it was like a beanie, but it was like constantly being moved around his head.
That's sort of like, but it's just like, God love him, like, like even though he had like, he could have gone into porn after that.
100%.
He could have been the one that could have got into made the.
What I found so funny with that video, from what I've heard and definitely not seen.
I actually have never seen it.
It's dog shit. It's shite. I think there was like a.
It's shite.
I could do better.
He doesn't jizz on her tits. It's awful.
There was no stepfathers,
no plumbers.
Not a pizza delivered nowhere.
Catching her coming out of the shower. Just a towel and no knickers.
Yeah. Not one cunt stuck under the bed.
No. Vanilla Balkan. Vanilla Balkan. He was Balkan vanilla.
But the thing is, she's like, her face, is she not like all.
Like, she's unimpressed.
Going through her.
I think that's plastic surgery though, just keeping it in place,
and she's in American Horror Story. I think she was in the most recent American Horror Story. Things are going wrong.
It's pure, like it's like a weird form of nepotism with her, because it's like she's already famous, so she can do whatever she wants.
Stick her in shit.
Yeah.
But you know what's so mental, and it's a reflection of society as a whole, where the longer this shit goes on, and for years I was like, Kim Kardashian, fake celebrity for nothing and all this shit, and then all of a sudden she's like pushing for like prison reform in America. And all.
You're like, why are you doing that?
Kim Kardashian is your voice of reason, as you said.
There was like a million people behind her. She just showed up in a fucking pantsuit and a bob.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck off, Kim.
There was a million people behind her, and it all stemmed from one man being behind her in the beginning.
Frankly,
you know what I mean?
It's the same vibe.
That's the way it wasn't in the video. She's all like getting pumped from behind.
So the funny thing in that video
by a cock the length of your fucking thigh, like, and she's like,
this rugby thigh. She's just getting.
She's like, this is nothing. Wait till you see Pete Davidson's,
He's another one. Like Pete Davidson, the one. Like, I'm sure he's really funny, but I couldn't tell you any of his jokes.
I remember one about, funny enough.
9/11.
Yeah,
that was his dad.
I remember one about girls having a gay best friend, and he was like, I still don't trust you, sort of thing. So it was decent, but it was, again, nothing to write home.
Remember, like, what do you call that other dude who came out and then everybody hated him? He did all Matt.
Rife. Matt Rife. Look, I'm happy with your opinion.
His crowd work was good, but then you saw his material and you're like, oh.
See, the thing is, he brought out a special there after like the whole cancel Matt Rife thing came about, and like a lot of people, I was seeing it flat out. People were trying to cancel him. Like,
but who has ever been cancelled?
Yeah, successfully.
Who have we ever gotten rid of?
I haven't seen Louis C.K. in anything in a while, but he still does tours.
No, he still does like all. He does podcasts. He does podcasts. He does all of the. He does all of the stand-up shows in New York.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He's still about. Yeah, he's still about.
Fair enough.
Like,
successfully, like as in, never seen them again. That's it.
Just the people who. Like just the people who said that Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted them, like they were cancelled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We got rid of them, but we never got rid of Harvey. Like it took ages, but like 67 million people had to tell the world that Harvey Weinstein was a perv. For anybody to believe him.
The thing is, as well, and again, it's not justifying anyone's actions for any cancelable behaviour, but it's like everyone's a piece of shit in some way, shape, or form.
100%.
You know, you do need to have. I do agree that there has to be a certain level of allowing people to be redeemed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People have to be able to. However, the problem seems to be that, like, you know, like your Chappelles and your Louis C.K.'s and your all these Matt Rife and all that. They don't turn around and go, right, I thought that was going to be funny. Like even Ricky Gervais, do you know, like they've reached a level where they go, no, and they dig their heels in and they go, no, I'm right. I'm always right. Yeah. And nobody can say that I'm wrong. And it's like maybe it's not that you're wrong, but. You know, and
there's a compromise, like.
But also a lot of the time as well, you go, maybe this isn't offensive. Maybe it is shite.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I had a couple of jokes.
Not funny. These jokes aren't funny.
Yeah. I had a couple of jokes that in my head were funny. Now, thankfully, they are still funny, and I've got laughs from them. But there was someone.
This is like, guys. I'm gonna look at guys. This video is going to be a little different than the usual content. I just learned a lot. From what I've gone through, and I hope you respect my privacy. No, but
this was
Soupy's apology video.
Soupy's apology video.
There was a
with the big red eyes because you've been crying.
But all it was there was a joke, and I just asked somebody who would maybe perceive that joke to be offensive. I was like, listen, I've got this fucking joke, and your sound and all the rest. Is this offensive?
The gig was in a preschool. So, do you know what I mean?
But I was like, is this joke offensive? They're like, no, that's cracker. And I was
the Presbyterian Church didn't take it too handy. So
this is cracker. Can I go back to Sandpit? Is this all right? Can I?
Here, swings are empty, or can I?
When is this over?
I just shit myself in the ball pit.
I've pissed all over these balls. That is not sweat. That is my piss.
Is that Victoria Sponge?
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, just saying a load of slurs and being like, anyway, Victoria Sponge.
Anyway.
Is it any custard?
Is that creme fresh? Well, that's the thing. I've just asked someone who is of the type of person that would be offended.
If it were offensive.
If it were offensive. And then they've been like, yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
But at the same time, I'm always open to, if I do make the joke and someone does come up after me and be like, that's offensive, I'll go, fair enough.
But I think if people are going to go, that's offensive, you have to go, okay, let's open a conversation.
Yeah.
Explain to me why you find it. You can't just then, and you also can't be offended on other people's behalf because then things go really far the other way where
the goalposts are completely moved.
Yeah, like sometimes it's like, and again, I'm going back to the point where, like, you know, like there's been other things, there's been things that I've seen, you know, and even by like local folk, and they have this, they're trying so hard to be edgy that they'll wire in, like, you know, a gay joke, and you go, it's not that it's I'm not offended. I'm not sitting here going, oh my god, it's just shite. It's really boring. I would love a good offensive joke that makes me go, fuck, I didn't see that coming.
And the thing is, as well, in my head, I'm thinking, now this is classic, like, guy who's going to say a slur, right? But
I'm not racist, but I hate the Dutch.
It's like
why do you need that many waffles?
Do you just smoke everything, dickheads?
You know what I mean?
Get a hell or something.
Can I just have a salad without fucking marijuana? You know what I mean?
But it's like, I don't think anyone is exempt from slagging, but that doesn't mean that everything can be said. It's just like, everyone can have a bit of slagging, but it's like, be aware of the cultural significance of what you're going to say and make sure it's funny. Like,
is it funny? Is it funny?
Know your shit
clever?
you,
am I just laughing, or is everyone else laughing? You know?
Like, don't get me wrong, I do a lot of, you know, myself, I'm probably the worst person on the Northern Irish comedy scene for it, just like saying something unhinged out of nowhere that I was like, did I say that? Like, I'll never write it down beforehand, it'll be said on stage, and then like it'll offend someone, and I'll come off and I'll go, yeah, fair enough, it was shite, I shouldn't have said that, you know?
Sorry,
like, I'm not apologizing because you're offended, I'm apologizing it was a terrible joke.
But see, it's if something, if I think the issue with these big comedians is that joke will go through, you know, the equivalent of RE comedy clubs 1,000 times, and then they'll make a special, and people are still saying you probably should. That's probably not great. Yeah. And then it goes through a lot of people.
There's too many people round about them going, "Oh, it was great.
That was great.
That was
exactly,
great." Yeah. And then you've maybe got like, what would you say, like unscrupulous sort of people behind them going, "This is." Because like, does anybody else, you know, not like the transphobic Dave Chappelle special? Does anybody really remember
which one?
The rest of us? Which one? But you're the one that kicked it up, the one that started it all off. Yeah, it was like, and I can't really remember. You know, unfortunately,
Sticks and Stones was
there
it?
Could
maybe
there could be other brilliant. Nobody remembers any of the rest of it because it was overshadowed, you know, by
the mad shit,
by the stupid shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, it's the jokes. Those jokes from brief memory are crafted well, and the way he puts it across is. But I'm just like, sometimes it's read the room, like you know,
and are they your jokes to tell as well? Do you like there's like stories? Like, is it your joke to talk about? Do you know, is it everybody's joke to talk about their somebody else's way of life? You know, you know, like race and sexuality and gender,
that's one thing
health.
I never understood in the joke. Like, especially in that sort of case with like Dave Chappelle, where he'll go about trans people. I never understood the whole, just because he felt someone retaliated against him, he went personal with it. Yeah. And he went into, it's a funny situation that they're in. And I went, you had 1,000 different routes with this trans
there
thing.
There was loads going on. Like, you know, there is the guy who's, like, you know, I think there's Caitlyn Jenner, for example. Yeah. She's been great for trans people because it's really nice to see a person who's just a cunt, because she is just an
just
asshole.
A cunt,
She is just an ass. She is just a horrible person. And I think that normalizes the trans situation for everybody. If you go, see, they're not... Trans people are not this mysterious people who live in the shadows. Look, she's a complete
You're saying
asshole,
like a full blown right wing one. You're like, where the fuck did that come from?
She hates herself so much. Like, she goes away for 6 months, comes back looking like flipping Kathleen Hepburn in her Romance in the Stone era, on the fucking front of Vogue or Cosmo, whatever it was.
Steal Mars bars from the local spot.
Knocking people over fucking left.
Oh yeah,
nobody but South Park is talking about it.
Oh yeah,
and you have to stop and you have to go.
Yeah, but it's all insane. But the thing is, as well, I'm only doing, I don't know how long you're doing comedy. You're doing comedy a few years as well. I am still learning this shit. I'm only doing it just over a year, so it's like I'm still learning this shit. So I'm always open to someone. See, like even the boys, if I make a joke and I think it's good, like I've got a stupid Bob Ross joke, right? And I am in love with this joke because it's just, I think it's perfect, right? But it's not shit. I'm aware it's shit. I love it. But I've had a load of boys probably being like, it's fun, I get it, but just stop saying it. You know, 'cause it doesn't land. But like I love that because I'm like,
sometimes you got to do it for yourselves.
Oh,
I don't. Would you like write in like groups? Like, do you sort of like fire stuff?
Me and you
other?
sort of like sit down and like once when we record, like before you came, we were like running jokes past each other, but we don't like sit down like, you know, go right, we're going to have a writing session here, you know.
Yeah, you just talk shit and then
I just go, oh, I was thinking about this bit, and then like literally like 5 minutes later we go, anyway, so what about the Kardashians?
I heard of,
you know,
like, people who do like, I've heard of some people who do like, right, three words out of the dictionary, write a joke about it, and I go, oh, that sounds okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, man. You know what that feels like? That feels like GCSE art.
Doesn't
like it feels like you love art and you love drawing, you love painting, doing whatever the fuck, whatever creative matter it is, and then your teacher goes, oh, but I want you to do like written work on it, and you go, you know what, suck my bollocks. You know, like there's no need.
All about Picasso's life.
Exactly.
Creativity,
and then you've lost it.
Shouldn't be, in my opinion, you shouldn't be like contained in this box to be like, write a joke about these three things in particular. It's like, I don't give a fuck about those three things.
You were saying like about like sometimes you'll just say stuff on stage. 100%. I would say probably 60% of stuff, maybe not 60, maybe 50 to 55% of the stuff that I just keep as the years go on are like wee things that have just come into my head. I've said it. It's either it's got a joke, it's got a laugh, and I go, right, oh. And then you keep
trying to remember that for
and
the next
then
time.
all the stuff that you've sat and you've crafted just didn't land because you've been sitting. So like I tend to not write. I tend to not sit and write. I
be
tend
strict
to
with it.
No,
that's
like,
exactly
my
type of like shit. And first time I actually knew you were emceeing at the pub actually, and I could even tell that you were just up there talking absolute shit, and it was brilliant.
No idea what
every
the crowd were loving it, and you were just, it was like a lot of crowd work and all just from emceeing, and then I remember being like, and then you move seamlessly into this bit. I can't remember what the bit is, but I remember being like, is he making this up? Because the way like as a comedian, you know, right, he's moved into a bit. You can see the segue happening. I was like, did he mean that? Or is he just now talking about like...
You have to make it look like it's off the cuff.
Natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually think this bit you were talking about was not, because you were like, "Fuck, that actually does remind me," and it was something completely left field that like they just threw at you.
I know.
And
There is like a kind of thing. I don't like. I've sort of spoken to Brona a wee bit about it as well. Like, I'm in the process of getting assessed for having ADHD.
Right. Okay,
which I think is like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So like
it's a fucking superpower in comedy, like.
Well, only on stage. Like in real life, it's like
oh yeah, you hate your life.
Creates.
I've been sacked from like 3 jobs because of it. Yeah.
Like, you know, whereas like on stage, it's like you're all firing on all cylinders.
Exactly.
Time I'm thinking clearly.
Yeah, it's called executive dysfunction, like in your everyday life, because it's like, this is fucking me. Like, you know, something needs done and you can't do it. Like,
the weight. Like, this is happening tonight, so I'm just gonna sit and wait until I have to go.
Oh fuck, that is the worst thing.
Yeah, and
like,
you're just doing nothing. You're doing a whole
can't
lot of
do
nothing.
anything.
You're doing a whole lot of nothing, and you're actually paralyzed by the fact that you've got something to do.
Yeah,
like
that's so funny.
Like the times that I have like been so glad that people have cancelled plans.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
And you're like, and then you can go and do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so much once you've nothing to do.
Once you know you don't have a specific thing to do, that is the rest of your night is like you will take over that.
Yeah,
but like the second that you have something, like say, no, what I hate, this is like my family get it, where they understand that I'm like this now, where if my wee sister wants collected from like the cinema or something, she's like, oh, it'll probably be in around like 8, 8:30, and I go, tell me the fucking time I need to be there.
That's a whole 30 minutes
of
like, discrepancy.
Like, you don't understand.
Fucking specific for me.
Like, it's 12 in the afternoon right now, and I won't be able to do anything the rest of the night because of this.
Yeah.
So.
And I'll also be going, so I leave the house at 8:45 or 8:15.
And then you're late anyway.
Exactly.
Or super early. I can be super early or super late, but never really on time.
I don't think I've been on time for anything ever.
I just find it difficult. I find it very stressful. And then the fact that you're late,
you
just kind of have to go, I'm sorry that I'm late. This is just who I am. There's no other reason
for being me.
Everything was completely. Traffic was fine. No family emergencies. This is just me and who I am as a person.
That's just the way I run things around here, bro.
This is how I be running.
See, I've got OCD, so sometimes I literally can't leave it.
Right.
You know. And the next thing you know, I'm like, I need to leave 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, do that again. You know, like it's not as bad now.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it used to be bad years ago. Like, but fuck the amount of times I was.
How do you manage that? Because like I find that there's I don't have OCD, but there's things that I find difficult, like
you can be obsessive about
how
things.
I eat food.
Yeah, okay.
I have got I need to eat food in certain ways,
like a certain pattern.
Yeah. Or like I need to have certain flavors together.
Yeah.
If like it's not that way, it's ruined.
This is
and
actually something I'm thinking
it.
about. This is the fattest guy thing in the world, right? See, if I was ever eating biscuits, I'd have to eat them in 4 at a time. No, for no other. Obviously, you wanted to eat more like biscuits because obviously class, right?
Lovely biscuits.
Yeah, but I remember literally eating the last like 4 packets of Jaffa cakes in a packet because I felt bad for them.
They'll never achieve their destiny. Have been eaten. They're like they're the spinsters of the Jaffa cake world. They're left on the shelf.
Full moon, half moon, munched.
You told me
moons of Jupiter.
You told me before as well that you were addicted to Muller corners.
I went through a bad spout of Muller corners. Right?
A bad spout.
How do you eat as a person with OCD? Because that's a food that is completely set up for an OCD situation.
Oh, it is. Unbelievable.
How do
But
you
see if I
eat?
don't get
How do
all
you
that.
eat it?
See if I don't get all of that, the wee small corner bit, like
Compote bit
the
into
compote. Yeah, you think I'm eating fruit compote? I'm eating those fucking digestibles.
But you have to scrape it all in. Do you dunk or do you scrape it all in?
I dunk straight away, mix that bitch up. But see when I mix it up and the wee bit of yogurt falls over the edge of it,
I don't really.
Day's ruined. No, I do like to over exaggerate my OCD for comedic purposes.
Yeah,
but. There is shit I did go through. I was wild for the Muller corners there for a while, and I actually got so bad. I was working in a factory around your area, right, and was doing night shifts. So like 3 a.m, I would get like a couple of Muller corners, be like, yeah, sweet, munch away at them. And I remember at one stage just mindlessly eating them 3 o'clock in the morning, wrecked.
Mindlessly.
And then, but I remember like
Nicole Scherzinger going any danger.
I was eating the fuck, and then I remember looked to my right, and I just had Muller corner all in my face, and one of the boys looked at me in the van. I thought I was alone. No way, when you're alone, you eat like a Hallion, you know. And I thought I was
like
alone.
a sex act. I do. Like seriously, it was a dance like there's no one looking. Fuck like there's no one looking. Like you have to like eat
I'm
your
a cock, so I actually fuck like there is someone looking.
Eat your I turned the lights off.
But
I shouldn't have even been here for that. That was brilliant.
But so I looked to my right, and there was one of the boys I was working with, and we both just had like a moment of like, fuck, boys and all whatever. And then when I realised there was a problem, whenever I was throwing the Muller corners in public bins, so I had to stash the evidence in the house. But not even that. It was more
you were
just
afraid
like,
of people pure walking on you, Gollum. Your fucking Muller corners, like just in the corner, the lights out in your eyes. No,
fuck. I wrote it down, and because there was a couple of things, and it's been a long time since I thought about it. But there was like signs of an addict there. Now, listen,
but is that food addiction or OCD or what is that?
I think the scientific term is just being a fuck cunt. No, it was just I had this routine of just that's what I enjoy. I got like a Muller corner, like class, and then at 3 o'clock in the morning, because your body's all over the shop, I was switching night shifts, and I was like, fuck it. Yogo, you know what I mean?
YOLO, yogurt, live once. No, that's not gonna work. But do you know, like I think that's like a sign of also our society in this part of the world, because when you're having a good time, you know, if you're celebrating something when you were young, what happened? Your family made you a lovely dinner.
Oh wow!
If you were commiserating, you bought yourself something nice to eat. When you're bored, you eat. Food, it's just real food dependence. And I think
it's a lack of spuds years ago, I think.
There was plenty of spuds. There was no famine. There was just a fucking. All right. There was no, and that's a Protestant saying that. You know, it's kind of the news has leaked over to our side. But no, there was plenty of fucking spuds that were just being shipped over the line. I say this like in things if there's any English people in the.
You're like, do you ever hear Guinness? Holy fuck!
It's fully vitamins. That's where it started. Like,
full of iron.
Doctors just going like, do you know it's a meal in itself? Like bred a whole like generation of alcoholics.
Guinness is the first Huel.
It is. Unfortunately, you die by the age of 45.
Just like Huel.
Just like liver failure. Stuck up like this here.
Yeah, and you're an insufferable cunt.
I don't know. Some people I know are much better crack when they're drunk. You know what I mean? It's really sad when they become sober. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I can't do anything sober.
Responsibly, folks, but to drink more.
Be good crack about it, you know.
It's from a purely selfish point of view. Maybe you just need to drink more. So when were you diagnosed with OCD?
I haven't been diagnosed, but I just know. You know what I mean?
CDO,
like,
alphabetical order.
I need a sound pad in here, folks.
That's very good. That's very fucking good.
That's not even my joke. I stole that off somebody.
Kieran Franco has OCD as well, and I've said to him a couple of times, I've been trying to like write jokes about it,
and he goes, "No, they're my jokes."
No, not even that. It's like,
I'm the OCD. He can't be an autistic comedian anymore. Russ Mitchell will be after you.
Oh, he'll like come after you strategically.
He is a Napoleonic warfare expert.
Oh yeah,
so he will get you.
Like he's like, what do you call that fucking cunt in the jumpsuit? Michael Myers. Like, you know, you turn around. And
oh wow!
You look around, he's not looking in the eye.
They still there? Yes.
Every time you look him in the eye, he stops. But
Weeping Angels.
Oh, the angels from Doctor Who.
What if they went like that?
So I said to Kieran before, I want to write bits about OCD, and he's like, I struggle to write about it as well, because I think it's ingrained in you. If you're dealing with it for so long, you spend so much time trying not to think about it, or trying to like battle it almost. So whenever you try to think about it, it's almost ingrained into me to be like, ignore it, it's fine, you know, or whatever. But yeah, those are the things where I've never been
obviously
diagnosed.
I've never seen the Babadook. That's the whole fucking thing of the Babadook. If you ignore the Babadook, he comes back 3 times stronger.
Well, that's true. You need to just greet him and let him pass.
Let him,
you know, that's it.
I do.
Ask him where he got that hat.
Believe it or not, somebody like me does go to therapy.
Yeah.
And my therapist, I do like every day. I do. It's like the boss. It's like I'm the driver of the bus.
Yeah.
My unwarranted and unwanted and negative thought are the passengers, and I greet them onto the bus and let them have a seat.
Yeah.
So they walk past me, they're in the back of the bus, but I'm still driving the bus. I'm the one that's in control. I've greeted them, I've acknowledged them, I've given them a seat.
Yeah.
But I'm not letting them take over the bus. And I do that.
Now, is this like a normal Translink, or is this the glider?
Oh no, this
do the racist thoughts sit at the front?
Like, smart now. They sit at the back, they make the people move. Wouldn't have fucking let Rosa Parks sit there. What are you talking about? No, get you up here, you. But no, that's like it's a rights bus circa 2005. Whenever they were good, do you remember in London there was like a really good one you can get off at the back. But it was I do it like 3 or 4. I do it 3 or 4 times a day. Like I do like fuck, because Yeah, the whole like anxiety for me and like ADHD for me is like white noise. It's like it's like being able to think about everything and nothing at all at once.
100%.
Yeah. And it's paralyzing. It's
like your thoughts are like ubiquitous. It's just like everything, but you can't focus on one. Now, there's a good like that saying like you can't see the forest for the trees. Like that's sort of like a good like
bees crawling over my brain, and every bee is its own thought, and it's all crawling over my head.
But have you ever successfully, I wouldn't say meditated, but just sat and went, right, this is happening, let's see what the crack is, you know what I mean? If Johnny Banther in here, we'll get a look, and then just let it happen. And then you're just like, all right, see you after. And then you're like, oh, you'll probably be back, but it's fine, and then you just let it happen. The next thing you know, you're like, oh, fuck, I can do shit again,
That's on stage. Like that's the only time that 100%. I think clearly is on stage.
Yeah,
it's like I'm firing on all cylinders.
Yeah,
I'm flying.
It's like your brain lets you think of just that one thing you're doing.
I'm watching everybody's faces. I'm listening to all the things.
You can harness
it before me. All the names.
Yeah,
that's the thing that fucking annoys me.
It's beautiful though. See, whenever you come off stage and you have had like some amazing off the cuff moments, and you realise you're in a state of flow, like you are.
It's just frictionless thinking, and it's just like
whenever you come off, you're like, oh, that felt good. I done the town hall there last Friday, right? Had probably my best gig so far. It was 450 people.
Is that the Newry town hall with Leanne McCooey, Darren?
Yeah. So I'm from Newry, like, so there's a home gig
sorry
for me.
about that.
No, but it's
I do.
It was a huge gig.
You need to bring it down.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. OCD and all. Fuck yeah, but see,
I'll totally get down that there, but see Newry. Fuck off.
So all my family and friends came, amazing gig, all good. A huge adrenaline spike when I was on stage, and just when I come off, had a couple of pints and all after, and then
couple of Muller yogurts,
couple of banana flakes, like
just the ones with the wee chocolate balls in it. See what I mean? But like, counting them.
See if the white and brown balls aren't an even number, it's my round. That's it.
That's the fucking Miller up the wall like that there. Fuck off.
But afterwards, I just had such an adrenaline dump. And all the boys would come after me, and they were well lathered at this stage because obviously they were drinking all night, and they were like, I was really appreciating what they were saying because they were like, "You're brilliant, fucking, you've gotten way better since last time we seen you and all this stuff." I was like, "Yeah,
it always feels like a double-handed compliment.
Yeah,
you're not as shit as you were last time. Oh,
100%. Yeah, I didn't let my mates come to see me for like 8 months or something, and whenever they did come back, they were like, "Fuck, you actually, you do this now?" Like I was like, "Fuck off!" Like,
I don't like being in an audience where I know many people.
Oh yeah,
I like a room full of strangers.
There were about 20 people or so that I brought with me in and around that, and then more people that just knew me from Newry as well. So before I went on stage, I was like, this, like, you down your hole, you feel like, oh, that's shite, but you always like half an hour after, you're like, it's just random guys, it doesn't matter, whereas this one I was like, I kind of need to do well because then but
you think that? You think, oh, I'll never see this cunt again.
Yeah.
Then one time I was drinking in Whites in Belfast. I was just having a few pints. It was a nice night because, like, it was weird because, like, multiple people came up and asked me for a photo in the same night. And I was like, this is the first time I was on, like, a weird roll of, like, a few big gigs of, like, like, couple 200-300 seaters in a row, and then some guy came up to me and was like, "Oh, I seen you do stand up the other night," and I was like, "Really? That's class, man. Where did you see me?" And he was like, I thought maybe it was like the Balmoral Hotel or something, somewhere like that. He sounded like he was a Westie, and he went, "Oh, mate, seen you in the River Rooms. Remember we did that gig in the River Rooms?"
That was so random.
And I was like, "Oh, you were there for that?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, you were class." And he was like,
"You having tacos?"
There was tapas on it.
Oh, wow. Such a bad idea. Such a bad idea.
It sounds good in theory until like the whole crowd sitting like
never organize a gig. Like if you're gonna get paid, fucking go to the gig.
Yeah.
Fabulous. But never organize a gig. There was food at the same time.
Oh, exactly.
No, food at halftime.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, eat beforehand, motherfuckers. You're getting a 15-minute break. That's not enough for a fucking meal.
100%.
That's true. That's why McCooey's that she brought round like pizzas, but they were cooked at halftime, and everyone got a wee slice, and it was just something to do. But I know food doesn't need to be the centerpiece. It doesn't need to be.
Say like AMC at Cabaret Supper Club, and like whenever there's a group who's late and they're having their dinner in the middle of the intro. And I'm always like, so which one of you fuckers was late? Which one of you fuckers couldn't be ready on time? Because kitchens were closed, bitches.
Eddie Hasty, is it? I'm a bus driver, right? But so what was it? Yeah.
You ever met the leaping on the glider, dickhead?
Did you ever be on the mine glider?
Well, I know, but no, on stage, the intrusive thoughts don't get put on the bus. They're fully engaged with. They're fully engaged with and dissected in front of people.
It's like you're going, thank you, driver.
Thank you. Yes.
Bye.
That is a thing we don't do. I went to uni in Scotland, and that is a very Scottish thing. We don't do it as much in Northern Ireland. Like
thank the driver.
The bus driver.
I would I've been a while,
but like in Scotland, it's like a thing. If you don't say thanks to the bus driver, it's like, who's that fucking scum bastard?
Like, never come back around your bus stop again.
Like you need, like if you're on the bus, you need to use buses.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's one
100%.
Like you need to use buses. Like be nice to the bus driver. Be kind to your bus driver.
I know, but just speaking about that River Rooms gig, you had like one of the most weird experiences gigging that night.
It was all weird.
True, but you had even just it was the weirdest room. It was like the room was probably about this width, but imagine like 4 of this room like that way, you know.
Right.
It's a long and narrow
the back room.
Yeah, it was just like tables all up to one side, you know,
right.
and it was like food being served and stuff. But then, like I just stood up at the back. Like, so they could all just see me. I was like, I don't give a fuck if half you can't see me.
Yeah.
David took the mic and then went for a wee dander down them, as he does, you know.
You're not fucking ignoring me again.
You had a brilliant...
You were coming checking the bus tickets.
Did you pay to get in here? Fuck.
You had a brilliant moment where you were doing a bit about doing like a psychic medium or seeing a psychic medium.
And I do remember this.
You ended up predicting some cunt's whole life on stage.
But it was like 2 or 3 people where I was like, you know, does this name mean anything to you? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, is it your granny? And they're like, yeah. Like everything I was, it was meant to be a piss take of how easy it would be just to be a psychic. But like everything was right that I was saying, like off the top of my head.
It was like, I
was like, hey,
you're like, I've got a wee bit of it. We touch it, you know.
Touch the gift.
Yeah, but you were like, does it like Lydia mean anything to you or whatever? And they were like, yeah. And you were like, is it your auntie? And they were like, yeah. And you're like, did she die recently? And they went, last week. And we were all at the back being like,
everyone's gone. What the? I was tucker torn.
You handled that very well as well.
It was like really like,
Darren Doherty Brown, like
absolutely. As I got there, and it never. But I've done that a couple of times, and it was never just as.
Yeah.
Because as I say, like sometimes it's like I'll do stupid names like, does the name John mean anything to you?
Yeah.
Is your granda dead?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like likelihood if you go to a certain
the person you're talking to is 45. Like you're like maybe, you know?
More or less, unless you're granny, you know. Let's just say it's a slaggy granny.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You're 35 and your granny's only 52. You know what I mean? Like, you have to sort of, you know.
But see those weird gigs. Like I done a gig there a while ago. Talal asked me to MC a gig in Newton Abbey. And I don't know if I was telling this last week. I might have just been telling you, but asked me to get MC a gig.
Newton Abbey, is it? Where in Newton Abbey?
It was called like Nordial Social Club or Norshall or Social Club or something. But I pulled up in the Oak No Bar and I was just sitting there and there was like a load of boys coming out in like band outfits and all, 10 glasses of Glens, and I was like, this is chalk, this is done. You know, it's done before it starts. So I rang Talal and was like, well, where are you? He was like, you here? I was like, yeah. He goes, so am I.
In the car.
Yeah, and I goes, I'm scared to get out. He goes, so am I. And I goes, where are you? And he goes, see, I'm beside the yellow van. So I was like, right, no boss. So I got out of the fucking car, started hiding behind cars, like into his car then. And we were like, I was like, right, what the fuck are we going to do here? And he was like, I don't know, but this might be a nightmare. Because we thought it was going to be a big, massive piss up. And like, people bringing their own carryouts. And like, you know, just a load of like, rambunctious lads, like, you know. And it turned out to be a lovely gig, like, you know, but it was one of them ones beforehand. I was like, this is like, the mystical gigs you hear about in podcasts from, like, you know, the bigger guys that they're saying, oh, I've done this mad gig, and I was like, I'm about to experience this for the first time. Yeah. Turned out to be a lovely gig, but see that like sense of fear before, and I was MCing too, so I was like, I can't just hide. I can't go up and do my 10 minutes and hide.
See you later. I'm in a wee toilet that they're calling the green room, the disabled toilet. So like, if you're anybody who is in a wheelchair, sorry.
You know, your green room's got a handrail in it, like.
Crying, I can't go out there.
Probably more shit taken in a green room, like, to be fair.
But do you not think? I love a ready gig.
Oh, I love because again I'd be like the same as yourself, where I would like thrive off a bit of crowd work.
I love.
And I would like I would like thrive off a bit of like banter with the crowd maybe. But sometimes like I've done gigs, like I've done a load of them, like you know, whenever I'm like maybe like 10, 15 years down the line, I'm like telling the younger ones, so I'll be like, yeah, I've done. You should see the gigs I've done, you know, and like. I think I've done them all in the last year, because in the last year I've been hired for a private birthday party in an Airbnb, you know. I've done support for the
private stuff. Like, would you think you do such and such a one's birthday party? And I'm like, aye. And then it's a bit
We have to get the kid off.
No,
you think it's good?
David Doherty Jebb.
David Doherty Jebb. I'm not.
You haven't heard that 1,000 times.
I know, yeah, but Jebb, I am the Jebb. That's how
I was gonna say,
I am the
yeah,
Jebb.
yeah,
My
yeah.
husband's the Doherty. But like legally, yes, we never changed it. Like we never legally changed our names. So like I'm still legally David Jebb.
Yeah.
Whenever like I see it like in my work now and I see David Jebb, it always feels weird. It feels like, oh, I haven't been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see
Haven't been
David
David
Doherty
Jebb
Jebb
for a
rolls
while.
off
yeah.
amazingly.
DDJ,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get
It's
DDJ,
like Robert
yeah?
Downey Jr., you know,
Ronan
like
calls me DDJ, and Luke McGibbon calls me DDJ, and you get like lots.
yeah,
of
man, fucking DDJ, man. Yeah, do you ever think he talks like one like the Cheech and Chong guys or something, or like, you know,
Luke?
like, or he maybe like, I feel like Luke talks like someone like he would fit in really well as the Northern Irish guy from that '70s show. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, man, like it goes well, like, you know, man.
I love him. I love when you get a bit of feedback off him after a gig, good or bad. I just
Yeah.
love it, because I'm like, you are the voice of reason. He's literally a therapist, so like, you know, it's like you are the voice of reason.
It'll
Like,
be
amazing.
it'll be you get the, you know, he'll come up to you, and if you did really well, he'll go, that was great, man, that was great. But sometimes, know how I know I've done shit, the head turns up. Like, you know, like,
He does that. The thinking.
he goes, well, man, you know.
Yes.
And
yes.
You're about to ruin my career. Like, just get it over with.
I know, and he's like, well, man, you know, I think you should maybe take a couple months off.
Just like, don't take us personally, but like just don't do it again. Just stop doing comedy. You know, just never come back.
Yeah. Have you any gigs
To
coming
Australia.
up? I know
Gigs
last time I
coming
was
up.
speaking to you, you were doing support for Bruna on her tour at the moment.
So yes, I'll be doing another. Well, tomorrow night I'll be doing. So it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
Too late by the time this goes out, but I'll be in Derry tomorrow night, with Peter Davidson.
Class.
Both of us supporting Bruna at Brickworks, which is going to be it's a really nice wee room, nice wee setup for that.
Part of the Brickworks is amazing, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's
really
great.
good.
Yeah,
And
I done not that long ago.
13th of June, I am going to be in Enniskillen emceeing for Fermanagh Pride.
Right.
And then
They have Pride out there. I still thought they were in like the 1930s, like, you know.
grudging self-acceptance.
Oh, yeah.
Really kind of like, you know, sort of like, so yes, that's a Brit. So I'm really excited about that gig, because like, yes, what you say is like, doing those rural areas. It's great when you come
Literally
to
Presbyterian
Belfast.
Pride, like.
Yeah. Do you know, but like, it's you go there, do you know, when it's going to be like people who there's maybe like a gay night once a month.
Oh,
Yeah.
People don't get to sort of just have that sense of community that you would
Yeah.
have in the likes of maybe Belfast or Derry or Dublin, or you know, you don't
Yeah.
have. So that's going to be a really, really good gig, and really kind of. I mean, special gig. I mean, okay, that sounds really wanky, but you know, it's just a special gig.
No, but it is, though. It
feels-
means a lot.
it means a lot for, especially, you know, I'm from Lurgan, and so
Yeah.
you don't have any, you know, there was
Representation
no
that way.
representation. There's nobody who.
The closest thing you get to it is like Sinn Féin just trying to wind up the DUP. Yeah, that's like the closest
lesbian.
thing.
Do you remember the DUP lesbian?
Was there?
There was like a DUP lesbian, like nobody had ever heard of her, and like no, like, you know, none of my like lesbians, because like you know, the gay
Yeah.
community is a small community in Northern Ireland. Lesbian community is a smaller pocket thereof.
Yeah, exactly,
and
yeah.
nobody had ever heard of this woman. So
Something to be said about smaller pocket and lesbian.
smaller pockets. I mean, maybe not always a good thing.
Lesbians, the only women with pockets.
And yes, and then I'll be. I think it's the 28th. Or is it maybe into July? I'm trying to remember, yes. But then I will be in July. I think it's in July. I will be supporting Roxy Tumblejar,
Right.
of her first one woman show.
Where's she from again? She's...
I think Roxy is from Belfast.
Oh, she? I thought she was a Southern act. Yeah, I never knew.
No. Roxy's from Belfast.
Cool.
Really funny. Really good. Really funny. She's a podcast, the Roxy Tumblejar podcast.
Have you been supporting Bruna on her tour through
Not though. I did in Downpatrick, and then this. So just two.
Yeah, happy
gigs.
day. No, because
Yeah.
I
It's
seen
been
her.
really good fun.
She posted in that Facebook group, anyone wants to come to the thing. And I was like, certainly. She was coming to Newry, so I was like, I'll go to the Canal Court no bother. And, you know, fucking fair play to her. She'll put my name on the list, and then I just walked in, just watched it. But it was fucking great. I really enjoyed it. So, her
is
sense
really
of humour is
good.
so funny. It's absolute
Yeah, she's great.
council estate humour, which is amazing.
It's like
It's
real
amazing.
people,
real
humour.
shit. And, you know, she's so raw in that way, where she doesn't give a fuck what she's saying because it's the truth. You know, it's her truth and the way she grew up.
She and I kind of think very alike, so we bounce off each other very well.
You do the pod a lot.
She has me on quite a lot, which is I'm really thankful for because it's really good. Like there's a lot of like people recognize me now.
Yeah.
Brona's podcast, so it's really nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully more after this. I am. But yeah,
you'll get the 80 smicks that listen to us knowing who you are now. It's like 80 people who want to be rappers listen to us.
Rappers who will ask you for a lend of money.
Oh, 100%. Like, you know, they'll be like, mate, look at this new Mercedes in the you know, in the music video here, mate, but I need a tenner diesel to get her.
You bought £20 on my Monzo.
Smicks use Monzo. That's a fact. Yeah.
Smicks use name of the episode.
On my Revolut card. Yeah, but so what about yourselves, guys? What about yourselves?
I took a few months off there to just write some new material, like to try and combat the ADHD, to like actually sit down and go, I need to like, you know, focus on it. And I've written like 10-15 minutes so far, so I'm happy enough because I haven't actually wrote a bit in like, I'd say since like 2022. So
sometimes when you're busy though, it's hard to write new stuff. Because you're doing stuff. I tend not to put new stuff into stuff I'm getting paid for.
Yeah, I think that's a rule of thumb. I always do the quote unquote greatest hits, or the hit, as I call it. You know,
the stuff people generally laugh at.
Stuff. Yeah,
whereas like or the things that's like people know that to be mine.
Yeah.
You know, and like people, you know, what's recognisable as that's a Doherty Jebb bit.
Yeah, definitely.
The dildo one's a good one that I would like. If I would associate, like if someone mentions like they'll be like it's like a specific shape of dildo, I'm like it like your bit comes straight to mind, you know. So I fucking love that bit.
Yes, it's divisive.
Oh yeah.
And like on another gig I've had like people complain about it. Like,
really?
This is disgraceful.
You're like, someone made it, so
it's so funny because like there was one time as well I was doing I don't know, I do this thing about the DUP, you know, like at election time.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, the DUP always looks like, you know, people that looks like people that, you know, are on a register.
Yeah.
Their posters, you know, I always think Sinn Féin are good. Sinn Féin always have a good looking person on their posters. Sinn Féin people tend to be better looking.
Yeah.
SDLP and Alliance, not bad.
Yeah.
The DUP people are always people who look like, you know, like the picture once they find out that somebody's been arrested.
Yeah.
So like that's the picture they have. But I was going to, and it's like, you know, the SDLP always looks like SDLP always looks like, you know, like this, you know, like the substitute.
Trying to sell you insurance.
The substitute teacher that's lost the run of the class.
Oh yeah.
I was like, just come in like
the SDLP candidates all look like me. The kind of like sub that would come in and put their feet up on the table to act cool.
Just call me Steve.
Call me Derek, man. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
You guys ever listen to any Bob Marley?
Yeah, he'd say it under his breath. You know?
Steve, you're not my cheer, not because you're shit.
What I noticed about the Sinn Féin posters is they look like, they're sound, but they'll also complain that their food wasn't hot enough in a restaurant. You know, they look backhanded.
Sinn Féin are now middle class.
Yeah,
let's face it. And then, but then I says, so like the SDLP looks like this, and then I says, and the DUP looks like somebody who might have put a camera in a woman's bathroom. And then this person, like in the audience at the time, whipped her phone out and wrote a complaint email to the promoter. I am sitting in the audience, and I was like, "That's class."
Yeah, like,
that's unreal.
You got the complaint in real time.
I did. I loved the fact that I offended her so much.
So bad.
She was treating it like a live stream.
Even though I was slagging all the parties
about
off.
something that is not even directly applicable to her, which is the classic example of being offended on behalf of someone else.
Unless her DUP councillor does have a video of her peeing
at
Rushmere. Do you know what I mean? Like, who knows? Who knows that wee toilet that used to be next to the post office? And I always looked. This is a very Craig Evans centric joke. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, tough shit. You know what I mean? We have to listen to Belfast crap a lot.
Oh,
we have to pretend that Belfast is the centre of the fucking universe. But you know, like, I don't know what it's like to have been in Rushmere. Have I been in Rushmere in a couple of years? Yeah. Like the toilet, you would come along and there'd be like, is there Yankee Candle there now?
There's the Yankee candle at like the one beside like Costa where Sainsbury's used to be.
There used to be like, and the Easons used to be along that sort of. That
Oh
same way,
yeah, it's like a Pandora now that you're talking
go
about.
down that wee tiny fucking dark Candyman corner.
There's a Subway down there now, believe it or not.
Oh, well,
You get the footlong certainly anyway.
You might not ask for one, but you can get one.
Or like the wee claw machines and all are.
Marinara sauce over your face.
Yeah, I say it's a foot long, but it's more like, let's be honest, it's like essentially.
Let's face it, men are not good at smashing things.
Right.
I would never have gone into that loo back in the day. Like now, Mershmere's had like it's all
gentrified.
lovely. It's all gentrified. People who can't afford to live in Belfast or live in Craigavon will go to Rushmere.
Yeah.
Do you remember that used to? But this users don't remember. It used to be crazy prices.
Where Tesco's used to be.
Yeah. Tesco's used to be. What is that? Is it an Iceland or is it?
There's an Iceland and like a Home Bargains there now.
Yeah. So it used to be Tesco, and before that it was
crazy prices.
Crazy
I remember because I was young whenever it was Tesco's, like, but I remember like my mum and dad being like, "This used to be fucking crazy prices."
Crazy prices. And then if you went into Lurgan down Castle Lane, it was where. You know where the Icelands is now in Castle Lurgan and back of Hayton's.
Aye,
that
fucking
abandoned building was Stewart's.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
And then it became Tesco's.
Jesus.
Like, people,
that place down there, somewhere where like you would get someone hiding a camera in a fucking toilet, like
Cause like, well, there's that big mega church down there.
Yeah,
so
true.
Right.
Yeah,
I shan't name it. I shan't name
it. The one behind Hayton's.
Yeah, it's just like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're the ones that kind of like you feel like, yeah, they're right. I'm a dirty faggot who's going to hell.
You walk past and you're like, fuck, maybe they're right. Like,
catching guilt.
They're going very into detail about this.
Catholics have nothing on this. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is ninja guilt. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of like they're standing there in a fleece.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Making you feel shit about yourself. Absolutely. Like, oh fuck, it came on me. Like, with Catholics, like it's straight there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you can feel your palms sweating going near it.
Because there's a big picture of Jesus with a six-pack looking down at you. Do you know what I mean? Like making sure that you're like feeling shit about yourself. Whereas you go into this place, there's nothing on the walls. It's just we sneaky preacher bringing you into his guilt thing. You know, it's very, very strange.
The dress normal and all fucking.
And you call them by their names.
And they're like, this is William here. Like, you're like,
you don't like Catholics burst into a ball of flames when they walk in, but you fucking burst into a ball of shame. Like,
at least like we get to argue with them, like
you can pay your way through it, so it'll be alright.
See what you're saying about like local humour, whatever. Like Belfast is the centre of the universe and all that stuff. I try to, like, I know fuck all about Belfast, so I don't even. And even politics, I don't even do any political jokes because I don't know enough about it to even,
Yeah.
But see, that gig in Uri, I tried out 2 new bits. Well, not wasn't 2 new bits, 2 new like punchlines or 2 different premises or whatever, and framed it differently. And I don't even know why I done it for the biggest gig I've done, but I just felt so good and it worked, right? But it was so cheap because it was so Newry, like, But it worked, right?
But sometimes you have to I
play
think of those wee things. I think of those wee things like seasoning.
Yeah.
So you've got like your big bits, and then you throw in a wee thing. It's going to be a crowd pleaser. They're going to get them on your side.
Yeah, straight away. That's what I come with.
Yeah.
But see, Leanne McCooey is the master. She has Newry in the palm of her hand.
Oh, wow.
She's the queen of Newry.
Yeah, I done a gig.
She's fed them all. At some point, they've all ate a fry.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They can say nothing.
Sean McLevy done a gig last Christmas, and I didn't do well at all. Like, and
I'll be glad when Sean comes back from his holiday.
Oh, $1,000,000. I'm looking forward.
I was fucking sick of watching it on fucking Instagram.
I just watched the fucking Grand Tour episode and they were in Cambodia, and I don't need Sean's fucking Instagram all over.
Like what like some Northern Irish fellas like take on Vietnam now. You're all right. I watch Anthony Bourdain again.
He's on the Grand Tour. He's the fucking core stretch from there.
I love it. This is totally taking off what you're about to say, but it was like the bit where he was buying the shoes and he's talking like, and you hear him using pure tourist speech to this woman. I pay with credit card.
Yeah. Did you speak louder? Hopefully,
I was so
credit card
skundered for
like Dave Monzo.
She speaks Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Dutch, motherfucker.
Yeah.
She is Vietnamese. She is clever. She's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do not fuck with her.
And you're pointing your rather loud at her.
All right, because you get no charges on it. Like Vietnam.
Good exchange rate, no. Swear to God, you buy crypto.
No crypto. What were you saying about Newry?
But so like I didn't do too well on that gig. Was what it was, whatever,
Why did you feel it? But why did you feel it didn't go well?
so my jokes, some of the jokes I had at that time, and it was to my own fault where I didn't read the room well enough. Where I was a lot of older folk, and I had quite some like sort of pop culture references in my shit.
Okay.
And,
what about that Billie Eilish?
but it wasn't even that.
Okay.
Listen, she's nearly 30 now. She's old now. You know what I mean? Like, she's like.
But I see, before I went up, I was like, right, I'll not do the DMX bit. I'll not do the thing. And then as I was got a couple of laughs. Don't get me wrong, I didn't die in my hole, but I just didn't do well. And then I remember I started the DMX bit, and before I could catch myself doing it, I was like, I have to do it.
I've started.
Yeah,
so I'll finish.
Here we go. And so anyway, that was fine. Leanne McCoo went on after me, and she kills in every time. And it literally, all she had to do, she basically just went up and goes, "What about Hill Street?" And everyone was like, "Ah!"
They were all waiting for her to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All like I say,
but it's like it's funny because she's the woman from the Facebook, you know. It's so good.
Yes.
But she kills it, like, and fair play,
Absolutely.
she destroys it. But what I love about her now is she's not just a conquering Yuri, but she knows how to make Yuri people laugh. She's got it down.
Aye.
But see, because she's doing a lot more gigs outside, she's going to Belfast and all, and I think she will be fucking amazing because
I give her a year. She'll be doing like Loveries and stuff.
oh,
It's because
probably
she's
less, like,
probably less because like I think.
but she's been doing
But
it.
I mean, like a
order to
regular,
be-
you know, like
I think working in front of people, especially because like she's, you know, I worked in my husband's cafe for like 10 years, and like, that was a great setup.
Yeah,
because you're
especially
thinking
'cause
on
it's
your
her own
feet.
business too.
Uh-huh.
And like she literally, like, I know Leanne this years. Like, she'd walk in, I'd walk in, she'd be like, "Campbell, what the fuck do you want?" And I'm just like, it's fucking Americano. Like,
Aye.
I'm like, "Can I get a coffee?" And she's like, "What coffee, dickhead? You're not getting the latte." And I'm like, "Well, Americano it is, you know." But
Aye.
she's the only, like, and what I love about her is I'm still not entirely sure she likes me, even though she does. I know she loves me, and I love her, right?
But I think that's a very Nuri woman way
Oh,
of talking to
she-
people.
how
Nuri
you-
girls listen to stories, I guess.
yeah.
Is that right, dickhead?
And so you could just send her,
you
on my
all?
holidays, they're waiting for you to say something to fuck them off so they can back to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And slap you in the
What
back
I
of
love
the
about it
butt.
as well, one of the new bit I tried in Yuri was basically, if I die in my hole in front of my ma, I'd have to go to therapy, haha, whatever. And then I was like, worst of all, I have to go to Leanne McCoo for therapy because she's a therapist now, right?
Oh,
Which
is she?
She is, right? Which is insane because I was like, she's probably the only therapist in the world that will listen to you for an hour and at the end just go, "Have you thought about fucking up? You can't, you know." And
Are you not annoyed with yourself? Because I've been listening to you an hour and I'm annoyed at you. Do you ever think that maybe you're just a fucking whiny bitch?
What did she say whenever she went on Adam and Cahill's podcast?
she goes, "That curtain-headed fuck." They're
She
talking
was
about
all
me.
we call him fucking DFS or
No,
something.
she goes, "That curtain-headed cunt," and then they were talking, and then she just interrupted and goes, "Harry Corey bastard."
That Harry Corey bastard. But but it's also because she's got so many references and she's so clever.
Yeah.
So clever. And she
100%.
I think in
always
order to be,
was.
because I always say that, like, people always say to me, like, who's one of your favourites of the big ones? And I always say Kieran Bartlett.
Yeah.
Because Kieran Bartlett
quick.
is so clever.
Yeah.
So clever, but like, you know, like, always clever. He's actually super intelligent.
Yeah.
And I think what sets him apart from like his peers
Yeah.
is just his wealth of knowledge and
Yeah.
references
Completely agree.
and
It's so intelligent, like, so, as you said, wealth of knowledge, and like knows really, really specific
Yes.
references to like niche subjects.
Yeah.
And one person in the crowd might get it, but it will be the best joke that they'll
so
ever
funny.
heard.
But like, it's just totally, but has this awareness of like how to present knowledge in a way that is funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
So
that,
funny.
even him and Shane's Mysteries podcast, like, amazing.
I fucking love it. Yeah.
Because Shane's just going, like, Shane is quote unquote clueless the whole thing. Now, he surprised me with his level of knowledge as well. Because he obviously does the research.
Nobody buys it. I just want to say
No,
that
like-
nobody buys the shit talk sitting here stupid. They not go to fucking Campbell.
Oh, you know,
I don't know.
I
It's mad
completely
that's
get-
watching that fucking podcast and asking for a refund.
Exactly.
What the
I
fuck?
fucking I literally I see like the clips and all, and they're like, you know, like grapes or raisins, and he goes, what? And I'm like,
Yeah.
you lamb bastard,
Pull
I know
that
you're.
out.
Yeah.
Stick that up your hole.
Yeah. But he
Right
does the
away.
research and he presents it well.
Yeah, exactly. See, when I watch it and I go, Shane knows a fucking lot here. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, lamb bastards. You know, like,
But when he hosts the episodes and he leads it, and I'm like, fuck, I'm learning a lot here. It's great crack. But whenever Kieran hosts it, and classic Kieran fashion, he'll go off on a mad tangent, and you learn so much on this tangent, and then he'll go, "Oh fuck, Julius Caesar," you know. I'm talking about the salad for an hour, you know.
But that's like pure like Connolly, like Billy
Yeah.
Connolly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Like Billy Connolly would always like be telling a story, and
Yeah.
like he really like to talk about, like he came in that sort of 70s, 80s. Like coming up to him was like all the kind of like people who told jokes, like Des O'Connor told jokes. Des O'Connor was Les Dawson told jokes, but like Billy Connolly told stories. And then if ever you see anybody like from the 80s onwards, like the big comedians, you know, like I suppose it's Eddie, Susie, Izzard, you know, like all those sorts of people now who like they tell amazing stories, and that became more mainstream of a type of humor. You know, so like you going off, as you said, going off on tangents. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like it was like I know a big thing in like comedy was like what was your man's name? The guy who had the heart attack on stage and he used a lot of props and stuff.
Just like Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper, yeah, and like a lot of it was just that, where it was just quick.
Because he
quirks,
was so mental on stage, like nobody realized that he was dead.
Oh yeah, like I watched that video not
over
too
and
long
died.
ago, and he literally he's just laying there like in a slump, and everyone's like, and like the wee like girl who's like his assistant or whatever is just like looking at him like.
By the way, he's Toddy Braid, like.
Toddy Braid.
He's someone's folded his laundry, but it's still at him, you know. So, like,
do you know what I mean? We're getting refunds for tickets in the future, folks, because them gigs not happening.
I know, crazy.
Talk about down your hole.
Yeah.
I was like dying, like imagine like dying on stage, but like I think the way that I would like to go, if I had like pick the way that I wouldn't want to die on stage because that's like no, been done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not gonna top Tommy Cooper, and we get killed by space junk.
Right.
I want a piece of Hubble's telescope.
Sounds like
The family get a claim.
Space junk, like,
Killed by space
Neil
junk.
Armstrong's
Doing the
balls in your
limelight
face.
this week.
Space junk. But it's like I just want to be walking along the
Lance
field.
Armstrong's one ball in your face.
Just walking along and a piece of fucking Mir space station or something comes flying out of the atmosphere, wipes you out. You didn't see it coming. It's painless. Sad for the people who love you, but they'll always go. But here,
he was killed by the Russian dog in space.
look at the fucking Linka. It's coming flying out of what do you call it, out of space. Like I said, the skeleton of what do you call that wee monkey? Coming to the wee monkey.
Oh yeah, they sent the what was his name? Bubbles or something.
Bubbles.
It's something like that. I could be talking
Michael
absolute shit. Yeah, Michael Jackson's monkey to space.
Tore out of Michael Jackson's arm. I know where they're taking me. They're putting me on this. I'm not meant to come back.
It was just Michael Jackson.
Trip, Michael.
It didn't actually go to space. It just stole a load of his ketamine. I love Michael Jackson. I fucking that's a hot take, but I separate the art from the artist. Weird bastard. Class music.
I saw a thing that was like, so more impactful, Prince or Michael Jackson. I am going to say, so as you say, step back from the whatever the conversation about Michael Jackson is, the nonsense.
That's another band.
Remember that terrible joke? You know, Michael Jackson's taking all the kids out for a day trip to Florida. Where's he taking them? Tampa. And he's but he's going but it's terrible 90s jokes. But yeah, Michael Jackson or Prince, and I'm going to argue Michael Jackson had a bigger impact on pop culture than Prince, because everybody talks about how Prince
100%.
was a brilliant songwriter, blah 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 blah. Sing 5 Prince songs.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like Prince, so I probably
but I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, but like 5 of them that are not Purple Rain.
Cultural significance.
Wait, no, so now I'm fucked because I was going to say acoustic version, electric version, you know.
Yeah, it's just like nothing compares to you.
Yeah, there was Kiss.
What do you call that? Starfish and Coffee. It's a deep cut. Is it Starfish and Coffee?
Not a fucking Limp Bizkit song.
But I know what you're saying.
Starfish and Coffee. I'd say that's like a niche.
Yeah.
No, that's niche.
Coffee gay porn.
But that's what I mean. Like
it's a coffee enema porn. Starfish and Coffee. It's
the name of an IPL.
it's the name of an IPA.
Fucking, you know, I'll have the
sell up the sunflower.
I'll have the Princess Sphinx.
Prince Albert in caramel.
Can I get a pint of Mike and Tampa?
Oh fuck.
Michael Jackson.
I agree with you. I think because again, if you go name 5 Michael Jackson songs, I'll list you albums worth.
Go on and on and on and on.
And every single one, like even because again, Prince, very talented music artist, very homophobic, weirdly, which was a weird thing.
Weird though, because at the beginning, because he was a Jehovah's Mormon.
Something like that.
He was a Mormon because he's from Minneapolis, which I think is like a big Mormon
spot for them.
Always and lived there and stayed there. So like fair fucks, there's a lot of things about Prince that was really good.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite stories is whenever Sinead O'Connor, God rest her soul, was going to talk to him about whenever she was releasing it, and she must have, because like I imagine Sinead O'Connor just to be like a take no prisoners fucking goddess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just going and saying what she wants to say.
She's the exact same woman no matter who she's around.
No matter who she's talking, whether she's baiting the head of the Pope or baiting the head of Prince. You know what I mean? She doesn't care. But she was in the house and
both of them homophobic actually.
Both of them homophobic. God love her. But she was in the house and he was saying how, he didn't like women who swore, so like she told him to fuck off and got through out of Prince's house. And I just think, yes,
go on, you
go on, you girl, fill your boots.
Pure Leon McCoy shit. So
Leon McCoy meeting Prince. I mean, Purple Rain, what fucking shit's that?
Prince of what?
That's a Nightmare Blunt rotation.
No, you're all right. Not them two people, but yeah, Prince. And then as he was getting older, he got like more religious and more like women's places in the house and all this.
Shit.
And I was like, you can't say that wearing 8-inch stilettos, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's like, you know, if like I'm not. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it was. I don't give a fuck about like toxic masculinity or whatever. I'm very much like, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm just doing my own shit, you know. But like he's like, whenever I think it's very hypocritical on one end to be wearing like fucking, you know, like flared leather trousers, you know, and then, you know, literally just like wearing like fucking one of them like frilly collars called at the fucking wearing like the 1800s.
Like Austin Powers.
Yeah, exactly. When you're wearing one of them, you can't
when you're
be
wearing
like
a corset, you can't be saying shit.
When you don't wear any other color other than purple, like it's like, you know,
purple is the universal color, multiracial color of a bell end.
Oh, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You cannot. Do you know what I mean? Knows no race.
Oh, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? I've done research.
The thing is, like, I'm, like I would be like a big fucking like it's a poster up there, Motley Crue. They're all dressed fucking metal and shit. I love like glam rock and stuff, but I'm probably wrong here, but I haven't heard a lot of homophobic shit from them. Like, you know, but I could be 100%. But I mean, you know,
Kiss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these people who come, you know, like they're not.
But I think the whole thing with Prince v Michael Jackson is that Prince is kind of like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with rap, right? Prince, I think, is like the
Well, like as opposed to like a bap.
Like, if you're familiar with the deep lore of hip hop, basically
of hip hop,
the comparison of hippity hoppity, right?
Of hip hop, not like hip hop.
But so Prince is kind of like the MF Doom of like Prince and MF Doom are similar in that they're seen as the greatest, but not. They didn't reach like the
potential they could have.
People who love them. Love them. Yeah.
So, but I agree with the sentiment that Prince was maybe more not influential, but the better artist, because he's got like hundreds of albums that never seen the light of day.
Never saw the light of day. They've all discovered all these songs in his fucking database.
Insane. But then Michael Jackson you cannot debate that he was the greatest. Like, you know what I mean?
He was the
like,
face of pop music for 20 years.
I mean, who else did you see like
solo artist? And then obviously whenever he was UE fella, like he is part of that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying like I was never like a big Michael Jackson stan. But
I was at one point,
stepping back.
Yeah.
But stepping back, like there's great music.
Yeah,
you know, Billie Jean,
amazing.
You know, Dirty
Black or White.
I never played Dirty Diana enough.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Fucking
joke at one, you go, oh no, they don't play it.
Try to kill the crack at a party, like, you know.
They just love, you know, so many good things, and even like your Earth song.
Yeah.
That's such a kind of.
But he hits so many different like topics and styles and different sort of like, you know, what like inspirations and all, you know, fucking amazing.
Like there was an era of people like obviously not all the same age, but like Madonna, Tina Turner, George Michael, Michael Jackson, like people who are kind of again, Madonna, like no matter what you say, this is like,
iconic.
This is going to put some stuff in here, so we're going to be like relevant to the gays. Gays can jump in here if you were gays. You could fast forward straight to this point if you're not listening to the rest. We're going to talk about Madonna now. But she, like, you know, again, some really good songs. Haven't really liked her stuff probably in the last 15 years or so. But you know, she's petered out. But I think she's petered out because I think she doesn't pay attention. Because what was so genius about Madonna in the past was she was paying attention to the zeitgeist. She never really created anything. She jumped on board straight at the crucial moment.
Perfect time. Yeah,
you know, as she brought
the
her
Jake Paul of her generation.
But see, she featured on a song with Quavo from a thing that's called some champagne, some shit. But she does like the hook or the bridge or something in it, and it's just like half-ass attempt shade. It's just.
Will there ever be a duet like "Hey Britney"? Do you know, like
is Madonna the one that was in the song with Justin Timberlake? 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Racker. Racker.
That's one. That's one. I'll down this hill of if once Michael Jackson started hitting that age where, you know, he had brought out.
It was too old to sleep with children.
Yeah, well, I mean, too old.
It was too old for that. Man. Too old to sleep with.
That was at some stage, wasn't it?
That was like after you were not a child anymore, Michael.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like,
sorry, that wasn't the point you're trying to make. I'm trying to keep it balanced. I'm trying to keep it BBC balanced.
Exactly. I think once that era of Michael Jackson passed, like the 90s and stuff, maybe even into the early 2000s, but strictly 90s, I think once Justin Timberlake came in, this is a hot take to a lot of Britney fans as well, so it's kind of hard to speak on. But I think Justin Timberlake was like the almost like musically reincarnated version of him.
He filled that vacuum because Michael Jackson went away, and this Michael Jackson. Fuck, I remember. You'd be too young to remember, like the Martin Bashir interview. You maybe watched it. Have you ever watched the Martin Bashir?
Maybe.
He was sitting in the fucking tree.
Yeah,
Martin
you ever
Bashir's
climb trees?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
He's going around, and they're doing like there's like vines and TikToks and shit of him going around this like store with like $5,000.
Yeah, and he goes, "What is that?" And they go, "Michael, that's $5,000." And he goes, "I want that for my bathroom."
I've got that one. I've got that one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's shut down like a whole shopping center.
That one, and it's gonna be.
It's Michael bitch.
It's Michael bitch.
Michael bitch. But yet, like he got past the stage where like he was that ultimate. Cautionary tale of what happens when you listen to the fucking people around you.
Oh, 100%.
You need mates
like
who are going to try and go, wind your fucking
yeah,
fucking.
that's not funny.
Sit the fuck back down, you. Come on now.
But I know what you're trying to say with Justin Timberlake was the...
And say the thing about Justin Timberlake as well. Sorry, just not to interrupt you, but Justin Timberlake had those sort of...
Rode the coattails of Britney even today.
Oh, exactly. Still bangers though. But he had
the moves and all. He had the whole lot.
Exactly. He had the dance moves. He had the wee boyish good looks and all when he first came about. What was he like?
He was white as well as Michael.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. But he was constantly surrounded. He was constantly surrounded by black producers who would always be like, "That's shite, man. Stop fucking doing that." So that's how he ended up going so far, you know. But yeah, so
like Timberland and all that.
Yeah,
shit,
he had fucking like Timberland's not going to be. He's not going to be a yes man, you know.
Cat Williams is bound to have like a bit about this, but did nobody, whenever Michael Jackson brought his kids home, go, Michael, you're still black. You are a genetic black man.
That child has blue eyes.
That child has got blue eyes. That child,
blanket or fucking sheet or quilt, whatever her name is.
The fuck, Eiderdown. They call your child Eiderdown.
See the on fucking Shay Lounge you have?
Shay's long Eiderdown and Princess. Like, there's no fucking... No.
Shay Lounge. Spot the council.
Satie. He called the child Satie.
Sofa.
Do you like the child all came home? Like, there's...
Sorry, David,
what's it called? Like, Paris Jackson is there with the blue eyes. And you
go, blonde hair or some shit,
like
you know.
Paris love, and yes, he was maybe your dad.
Yeah,
he was not your father.
Let's be honest.
I mean,
like, there's not one redeeming quality.
Allegedly, I want to put allegedly in case you get it.
Like, what's the chances of you having 3 kids and all of them not gaining any sort of like mixed race sort of like details on their
very most? The look maybe Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it with Michael's? It was vitiligo or something.
Vitiligo, yeah. But did you ever see the cunt's nose before he got like all the plastic surgery?
That was. He only ever admitted to one nose job. That's all he ever admitted.
He didn't go through
because he said like something like, did he get hit by a light or something and it broke his nose?
Pepsi Max.
No, it was the one he got lit on fire. Yeah,
the motorbike went over his head and his hair got on fire. Yeah. Which if you go back, it happened to Andrea Turner as well. It's like in Blue Peter. There was like a bike came. Motorbike came over the top of her head like an Evel Knievel stunt, but like it set fire to her hair and you can see her jumping out. And like,
did not learn.
Yeah, listen, Michael fucking went through this, so you didn't have to, Andre. You're not paying fucking attention.
No fucking.
Michael walked so you could run. You know?
You could away from the fire.
Exactly. Yeah. Stop, drop, and roll, Doctor.
Exactly. He was still doing all this wee fucking.
You know? Nobody sort of go like, like these kids, like in the best will in the world, Michael. Look at Jermaine. Look at Tito. They're brothers.
Yeah, have you seen any of like Michael Jackson's nieces and nephews? They're all fond of white women, by the way. But like, if you ever see like the nieces and nephews of all the kids, black kids, that's all they all are. You know, like
recognizably, African American people.
They are very black kids. You know, like
which is but so like, what I'm saying is, I feel there's a genetic fact that people are choosing to the black elephant in the room.
The black
Do you know what I mean? Is that like nobody?
You heard it here first,
like, your kids are like, you know,
David Doherty Jebb sticking at the big MJ.
he did get there. No, he's dead. Can't label a dead man. Right.
Exactly. But we'll go after his kids next.
Go after his kids. Paris. Was she in something recently? Like, is she like Paris Jackson?
I think I seen her. Yeah, you might be right. I think I seen her. Like, maybe she was like going to be in a movie or something.
Going to be in a movie. Do you know,
See,
how did she get that gig?
Yeah.
His blade is so white. It's crazy. She looks like her dad could have been half
Kidnapped
Spanish.
from an Amish community.
She's so like she's borderline albino. She looks like she could be Kurt Cobain's daughter.
She has wandered down from a mountain in Iceland.
Yeah, she has.
People have gone,
The mountains
"Hey,
of Caucasus.
That is a Caucasian child. That is
What
an
is she?
Anglo baby.
that baby got a fucking credit score of 830.
Amazing reference.
another good Cat Williams one is did you ever see Michael in the trees? He like, you never climb trees. It's like, no, motherfucker, we got bills and shit.
I thought I was going to Lil Wayne's house, Mr. Jackson. It's the whole Michael Jackson thing, and there's people who feel very, very, very strongly about it. Like, people will fall out with you, like going like, he never fucking did it. He never fucking did it.
You'll have arguments with people over it, like
I'm like, listen, well, he ever did or whatever he didn't.
See that come from Home Alone. Said he was sound.
But that wee fella was 12 and high on meth.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that wee fella was not in his right mind.
No, but no. Again, it's one of those things. I never actually really kept with the lore of. There was another Michael Jackson joke years ago. It was like, oh, what's Michael Jackson and a PS2 have in common or something? They're both plastic and they both get turned on by children or something, you know. And I remember hearing that years ago in the primary school and being like, cracker, you know. But I never kept with any of the lore of. Obviously, you heard all the fucking noise and all that shit. But I was just like, listen, I'm gonna put on Billie Jean and start.
I remember when I remarried Lisa
Just
Marie Presley.
Oh,
So he married Elvis's daughter.
Elvis's daughter.
And do you remember he married Lisa Marie Presley?
There's another Kim Kardashian Kanye moment.
And like it was on Oprah, and even then it was like, I remember whatever age I was at the time, I might have still been, it might have been P7, might have been first year. Like, I remember Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Like, before Oprah Winfrey became Jesus, she was like interviewing these two, and it was like, even at 9, I was going, I smell bullshit. Like, nobody believes this.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Michael Jackson like being in the throes of bucking with somebody.
Like, how do you, like, is that not another Cat Williams bit where he's like, can you imagine Michael Jackson fucking, like, or someone has a bit like Ari Spears or something does a bit like that, but
I imagine like crying through it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
just
the
so beautiful.
Hold on to the headboard.
thing all up. Like, you get vitiligo, but have you ever seen like a person with vitiligo?
Yeah.
It's like, it's very like, it's like a pattern across the body.
I grew up with a friend, but
where you go.
It doesn't like grow on you from like
from the fucking point of your scalp to the tip of your toes. It doesn't work that way.
No.
Yeah, my mate had it on his eyes, which was like, and he was like very insecure about it, and I was like, "That's cool, bro."
Man just didn't blink.
you could say any racial slur, bro. You know, like,
Nobody knows.
yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like you could have like, I know a lot of people probably have vitiligo, you know, as white people, but it is weird that it is like strictly it only like comes into the black community where it's like an issue, because you can have vitiligo as like a white person, but you're like that's the wee birthmark, that's where you died in a past life, you know. Like,
do you remember hearing that?
Yeah.
Did you have birthday? You have a birthmark?
Yeah, one here. I remember being like, it's like, I'd never seen it because, you know, whatever, but I remember being like, yeah.
You can take a picture.
Well, that's true. Now I can't, but at the time.
When were you born? You've been able.
No, like.
Soupy, there's photography all through your life. What age are you?
Me having that still for an hour.
I am. Do you know what I mean? Don't move. Watch the birdie. Watch the birdie. There we go.
the guy under the floor.
With a brownie camera. No.
Me with my BlackBerry going, all right, whatever, fucking.
But I remember just being like, I got a fucking shot with an arrow in the back of the head. I don't know why I decided to die when there was arrows, you know.
Like during like the Alamo. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're like,
I have no idea. I've actually have no idea.
Yeah.
But do you have any birthmarks or?
I have a birthmark on the back of my leg.
Right.
It's funny though, because like me and my middle brother have exactly the same shape. He's got one. It's like on the sort of wee nape of his neck here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's maybe like the small of the hollow of your throat, I think.
Yeah.
That big. And I've got it's the same shape, and it's in the back of my leg.
That's wild. Yeah.
What it's one of those things where what the fuck's that about? What does it mean? What is
I think
it?
it's just like a big blast of melanin.
Yeah. maybe.
Oh, fair enough.
I like some, when you
like vitiligo's like I think the melanin just doesn't.
Deficiency.
Aye. Whereas I think I should get like a wee black. I don't know because it's not like it's actually just on the skin. It's not.
You ever leave
or
a
anything.
sausage on the pan for too long? But yeah.
What are we talking about now?
I know. We're hitting an hour and a half here, and I'm gonna have to sit and edit this for 4 days straight. So, but as I say, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. That was such a good crack.
Yeah,
I know.
excellent. So it was.
You'll have to, whenever we have the actual room set up right and everything's not shoved to that side of the room, we'll have to
What are
have
you
you back.
talking about?
No, you can't see it on the camera.
This is the studio that looks exactly the way it does on
Exactly.
the camera.
That's all producers over there. Danny DeVito's our producer here.
My milk. It's my milk.
I didn't even fucking offer you a drink when you came in here. I'm so sorry, man. That was fucking shitty of me. Do you want a bottle of water?
Nah, thank you.
No,
All right,
but listen. Again, thanks for coming on, David.
Thank
It's
you
been
for
absolutely
having me.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All the user hectic people and all. Come to our gigs. Come to our gigs.
I know exactly.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Follow us all.
Or maybe don't because they're a bit mental. The user hectic listeners. So there's the reason why.
It's the same as anybody.
100%. You know,
Yeah, it's just a gig.
all their Monzo cards are ready for it. But
Don't way they use a Monzo card because your wages go in the night before.
oh, exactly, 100%.
right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's sort of like a 1 day loan sort of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So like they pay you the money and then they just take it when you pay it. Anyway.
Monzo's usage just went up by like 300% within the greater Craigavon area.
Yeah, it's us three.
after this video goes out, what fucking the night before?
My fucking Danske card's fucking all. But
Fucking up to my dick and credit union loans and that'll pay that off.
but yeah, listen, folks, go follow David Doherty Jebb on Instagram. What's your Instagram? What do you know?
Just my name, David Doherty Jebb.
Yeah, the one and only baby.
Yeah.
And follow myself, Justin Freeburn, and Soupy Stephen, isn't it?
Yeah.
And listen, keep tuning in every week. Thank you very much for listening, and tell your dad stop texting me. So.